Welcome to the weekly Bodkins Sports Wrap Up.
Welcome back to the Bodkins Weekly Sports Wrap Up Show. Let's jump to it, man. This week, not much NFL news. The draft is coming up, so it's a lot of scuttlebutt. Who's going where? Who's doing what? No big trades have happened in the draft. We'll see. We'll kind of break down our draft next week, as the draft is in like 14 days or so, a little less than that. I believe actually it's next Thursday. So, week from this Thursday was the draft. Not this Thursday, but the next Thursday after that. So, let's jump right into the NBA playoffs. That's what's going down right now. A couple series have already started. Looks like the Heat, they're up 1-0. I like the Heat to win in 5 probably. The Bucks up 1-0. Game 2 is tomorrow night. They're playing the Bulls. I like the Bucks. As much as I want the Bulls to win, as a big Bulls fan as I am, I think it's the Bucks going to take this one. Looks like the Philly won last night. They're up 2-0. Probably again, they'll probably either sweep or maybe get the Raptors in a game. Warriors up 2-0 on the Nuggets already. I like the Warriors again. I think the Nuggets will go home and they can maybe make that a series, maybe 6 games. The Nuggets are just too good, but to get swept, but they might get the gentleman's sweep. I like the Warriors in the West, period. I think watch out for them. We also got the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies. Timberwolves upset the Grizz in Game 1, taking home court, but they play Game 2 tonight. I like the Grizzlies long term. I like the Grizzlies to bounce back tonight and tie the series 1-1. I actually think that series goes 7. 2 good young teams. We're looking at these young teams. Ja Morant, number 2 overall pick a couple years ago. You look at the Timberwolves, they have 2 number 1s. Ant Edwards is a monster. Cat is a former number 1 pick. And plus you have D'Angelo Williams on that team, former number 2 pick. So the Wolves got some guys, plus Pat Bev. But the Grizzlies, they were ranked, they're number 2 in the West for a reason. So don't sleep on them. 2 good young teams coming up. In a couple years ago, this matchup could very well be Western Conference Finals in about 2 years from now. Both young teams, both experience that playoff thirst and fight. Both scrappy, mouthy teams. I love it. And then we also got the Pelicans and the Suns. They play tonight too. Game 2, Suns probably sweep. Pelicans probably shouldn't even be there, but they're there. And then the biggest series, I almost forgot because we're going to get into it here. Was Nets Celtics. Game 1 was a barn burner. Hell of a game. Celtics win on a layup by Jason Tatum. Win 115-114. Now let's get a little something deeper if you haven't heard. So during that game, fans huckling, chuckling, Kyrie calling them all sides of shit, which, hey, that's the fans' right. Especially to Kyrie. You know why? Because he lied to the motherfucker, said he was going to go there. He's going to stay there. He said, you know what? I'm dipped out. Peace out, Boston. Went to Brooklyn. So you know what? As a fan, you're going to chuckle the guy. You're going to heckle him. You're going to say shit. Now, as long as you're not really calling him the N-word and things like that, I think it's fair game. And in the NBA, you're right on them on the court. Now, it's also fair game for Kyrie to turn around and give you the fucking finger, okay? That's okay too. So that's what Kyrie did too. Kyrie gave the Boston fans multiple fucking fingers. Straight up, back of the head, did this. Straight up, made a 3, flipped him off. Hey, that's the game too. I enjoy it. We all like the Reggie Miller and Spike Lee shit a couple years ago, way back in the day, in the 90s, when they were going at it. Reggie's holding his fucking John at Spike, and Spike Lee's John at fucking Reggie, and he's doing the choke sign and everything else. This is perfectly fucking fine. If you're offended by it, too fucking bad. It's freedom of speech both ways. Hey, I got the right. If I buy my ticket, I got the right to say whatever the fuck I want to say. Don't be pussy like LeBron crying about fans fucking saying shit in the fucking in there. They spend that money. Let them spend that money. Let them fucking go holler. Now, at the same fucking time, everybody got the right to turn around and say, hey, motherfucker, go fuck yourself. Fuck you. You got that same right, Kyrie. I'm all for it. Hey, the NBA decided they were going to fine him $50,000. Kyrie can afford the fine. I don't think there should be a fine. It should all be fair play. Hey, that's part of it, especially in Boston. We're talking Boston, where these motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Some of the rowdiest fans in the world, in the United States. Okay? Now, there's probably 3 fan bases that are absolutely the worst. Philly, New York, and Boston. All 3 right there. Rank them. You know what I mean? As in some of the mouthiest, loudest, obnoxious, bullshit fucking fans there is. And if Kyrie want to say go fuck yourself to him, hey, go fuck yourself, Boston. That's what I would say. Fuck you, Boston. I'd probably turn around the same thing. Somebody's jawing at you. They ain't even playing the motherfucking game, but I'm going to smoke them. And Kyrie did all he could do, they still lost. That's going to go 7. I like Boston in 7. I just think the sum of the parts, the whole of the parts is better than some of the parts, whatever that fucking saying is. And what I mean by that is Boston has a 1 through like 13, they're better as a whole, like this as a whole, than Brooklyn is with just 2 guys. And they got some guys that can step up, but I mean, they got KD and Kyrie, and maybe it sounds like Ben Simmons is going to come back, but we haven't seen Ben Simmons play in a fucking basketball game in over a year. So, and one little boo-hoo-hoo to Boston. I mean, they're going to give it to him. He might cry. And we may never see Ben Simmons ever in the league. You got to have thick skin, folks. And Kyrie, give it up for Kyrie. Guys, I mean, he is a little self-absorbed and he's got issues, but he sticks to his fucking guns, and you got to admire that. Said, I ain't getting no fucking vaccine. Fuck him. Didn't get the vaccine. Now, personally, I probably would have got the vaccine if I couldn't play, do my job, just to help my teammates out, because that's just what I believe to help us win. Now, he won it, right? Like, they fucking got rid of the mandates, the motherfucker out there playing. So, and now he's out there giving, not only playing, he's balling and giving people the finger. So, good on you, Kyrie. Hey, and fans, keep heckling him. Like, why not? Why not tell him to go fuck himself? He gonna say, fuck you, you fuck him, fuck you. Like, that's all part of it. That's all part of it. That's what you buy. You buy the ticket, you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want. You just can't go on the court and put hands on the people, and you can't call anybody any racist tones. Now, he's saying there's some underlying racist things, but anyway, anything or anyhow, somebody can, these days, day and age, is racist. Unless he drops the N-word, that's racist, okay? Or says some other shit, that real racist shit. Like, we're like, whoa, shit, that's some fucking racist ass shit. But other than that, hey, these fans should be able to say, hey, fuck you, Kyrie, and he should be able to turn around and say, fuck you to them. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the NBA round 1. We'll wrap that. Most of these series should be wrapping up next week, and we'll kind of go back into, but I've kind of made my picks the rest of the way. Don't hate on me, because I know some of these games have been played 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. Now, we get into baseball. First 10 games have been played. Still not a whole lot of storylines. The biggest storyline coming out last week, Clayton Kershaw, perfect game after 7 innings. Perfect game. You know how many perfect games there have been in baseball? 23 of them motherfuckers. 23 perfect games. Kershaw, the great Clayton Kershaw, had a perfect game going into 7 innings. Less than 100 pitches. He pitched 80 pitches after 7. Dave Roberts pulls him after going into 7. You got to let that man go out there and pitch. I understand. Yes, number one, it's Clayton Kershaw. He's been injured, was injured last year. They didn't have for the playoffs. Let his ass go out there and pitch those fucking 2 innings. Then just skip him in the rotation next time. I mean, at least let him pitch the 8th. If he pitches, over 115 pitches going into the 9th, then I think, hey, maybe then he probably doesn't actually have the perfect game. But let's just say he does, and then maybe you can decide. But, I mean, I still don't like it. Just let his ass go out there. Once he gives up a hit or a walk, hey, it's over. Pull them in. Have somebody be ready, warming up. If not, let him fucking finish it. Let him go out. Literally on that same day, over 100 years ago, a dude got struck by fucking lightning. They revived his ass. You want to talk about you die, your fucking job's going to find a replacement for you. This guy got struck by lightning. They revived him, and he still went back out and finished fucking pitching. Now that's some ballsy shit. Where's these kids at the fucking day? They're not doing that fucking shit. No fucking way they're not. You get fucking struck by lightning, they're out probably for fucking 6 months. We ain't gonna see you until the fucking playoffs. This guy got revived fucking right back up and fucking striking motherfuckers out like he's goddamn Thor or some shit. Now, Clayton Kershaw can't even fucking finish a perfect game. We're not talking about a complete game. We're not talking about we're talking about a perfect game. A perfect game. As a fan, if I'm there, I'd be super fucking pissed at Dave Roberts because as a fan, that's something you always want to see, right? When you go to a ball game, you want to see a few things. You want to see, number one, a perfect game. Number two, a no-hitter. Number three, a guy hit for the cycle. And that's about it. Like, those three things, take them. Like, those three things. Like, if you go to a fan, you pay a ticket. Like, you want to see those things at the ball game. Once those three things aren't going to happen, I mean, it's still good. It's still fun to go to the ball game, but at least you can say, like, hey, bucket list material, I got to witness these things. And Clayton Kershaw, who's done it all, seen it all, guess what? He ain't never fucking do. He ain't never pitched no fucking perfect game. There's only been 23 perfect games in the history of baseball. The history of baseball. I'm not talking about the last decade. I'm not talking about the last 20 years. I'm not talking about the last 30 years. There's been over 100 fucking years of fucking baseball, y'all, and only 23 perfect games, and we were possibly robbed of one by Dave fucking Roberts last week. Clayton Kershaw, who's going into the Hall of Fame, bona fide Hall of fucking Famer. They already got his bust in Cooperstown ready, folks. Dave Roberts takes him out. Just skip his ass. Let him go out there and pitch. Let him see what fucking happens. If he gets hurt, or you know what you can do? Rest him the next fucking time. Skip him the rotation. He gets fucking 10 days off. All right? Come on now. Come on now. UFC last week. Only major fight there really was Belal Muhammad. Belal, remember the name, Muhammad versus Vince Luque. Belal, I mean, it was just a unanimous decision. Belal I don't even think Vince Luque won a fucking round. I watched all 5 rounds. Pretty fucking boring. Belal took him down, ground and pound. There's no threat on the ground. Once he gets you there, he's just going to wrestle you and punch you in the face a few times, and Belal won every fucking round. He called out Colby Covington, but I'd like to actually see Belal face Burns and then Colby face Hamzat. But Belal also said he'd take Hamzat, so I wouldn't mind seeing that too. Both those fights would be pretty good. This week, not much of a card on the UFC. On Saturday, and pretty much sums it up for this past week. We'll get into the draft a little bit next week, break down some things, and also next week maybe we'll release the first BPI, Bodkin's Power Index, BPR. Bodkin's Power Rankings, Bodkin's Baseball Power Rankings. Could be coming next week. I'll work on that and we'll get that started. Just do me a favor, click, like, subscribe, share, get this out there with your friends, your family. We'll see y'all next week.